On that side.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. Welcome back. I'm your girl, Lady and the Chef, joined by my co-host today.
Deeper 21, what's up?
It's been a beautiful streak of Knicks wins going on. The Knicks have won their fifth game in a row, which I'm super hyped about, and this is exciting
Going
times.
on. The Knicks have won, just won their fifth.
That the Knicks are going on a run and they're able to win games back to back, which is nice. So the Knicks will be playing their next lineup of their game tonight against Dallas, and they're looking to make it six in a row for them tonight, which is nice. And this tonight's game is one of those games I feel like it's going to be tricky, even though I know you had texted me saying that Luka's out, but I still think that this is still, they have Kyrie, they have a couple other key pieces on the team. But for me, I feel like it was between this game and Saturday's game that I was kind of like, I don't know. I have faith in the Knicks, but I think it's going to be a challenge. But I'm still optimistic because to me, salute Ebony. To me, this is one of those games that I think that the Knicks need to try to capitalize and actually try to prove that they can beat the better teams in the league. So I'm looking for the Knicks to actually go ahead and really continue to keep putting their foot on guys' necks and try to capitalize and take this win. I know Dallas is doing pretty decently in their standings and their rankings, but I would like to see the Knicks be able to beat them tonight, just because also they're on a streak. So we'll see what happens, but we'll go back and recap the Portland game. This is a game. The Portland game is a game that I saw the Knicks winning because you and I have been saying it's a lot this season. Is that the Knicks have to beat the teams they're supposed to be beating, and they've been doing that. And they're beating the teams that they're supposed to be beating. And Portland was one of those teams who've only won 10 games so far this season. And they're a young team. They're not that good. And the Knicks, pretty much slaughtered them 84 to 112. And I thought the scoring was pretty balanced too, each quarter for the Knicks. First quarter, the Knicks scored 38 points. Portland had 22. Second quarter, the Knicks dropped 25. Portland 19. Third quarter, Knicks scored 34 points. Portland 20. Fourth quarter, and I think this is because Tibbs took out the starter, so they only scored 15 points, and Portland had 23, which is okay because I think a lot of the starters you know, they need a rest, and I think guys like Randall and Brunson have been playing a lot of minutes lately, and especially Brunson, and rightfully so because they don't have a backup. But as far as the scoring went down, Randall had 20 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. OG Anunoby had a really good game. I think he was like the leading scorer, if I'm not mistaken, in the first quarter of that game. So it was pretty well rounded. And he was pretty much leading in the points for us. And he was just hitting nice timely baskets from what I remember seeing him shoot. But he had 20. He finished with 23 points, 4 rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein had another monster game on the boards. He had 14 rebounds, 5 points, 3 assists. Jalen Brunson, he didn't have a great game, but I think that he filled in the pockets where they needed him to. So it was a game where the Knicks proved they didn't need him to score a bunch of points, as there was balanced scoring from other guys and a contributing cast, as I've been alluding to this entire season, is that we need the supporting cast to come in and help out Brunson and Randall. Jalen Brunson finished with 12 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Dante DiVincenzo, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Josh Hart, he had a quiet game. He had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 points. Miles McBride had another good game, 16 points. And I thought it was a solid 16 points if you ask me. But he proved that he can shoot the ball. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Quentin Grimes had 17 points, 4 rebounds. Precious Achua finished with 9 boards. So I like that there was balance scoring from the supporting cast. As I've been saying, is that that's what we need from guys on the Knicks. But what did you like from that game that you saw against Portland?
Oh, pretty much everything you said, just the balance scoring. Um, and this was a game like it kind of sounds weird, but they didn't, they didn't play hard. Um, but they didn't, like seem like they had to exert a lot, with Portland. I not that they didn't take them for granted because they played, but it was like a game where they didn't have to, exert a lot, and that proved by just the starters, sitting and resting. So it was kind of like and it was nice, win over, and the role players, the bench, they got significant amount of minutes, so it was good for them, and kudos to Deuce. That was what his season high so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can have a career high before before the end of the season.
Mhm.
Um, just they was aggressive out, from out the gate. He played great defense. Um, you know, I think, like I said, Grimes and Deuce just there playing. Um, and like they didn't force it for the most part.
Mhm.
Like didn't force, shots. Turnovers. They still have to work on that. They had what, like 14 or something like that. And I think those are gonna, decrease as they play, and again get a feel, just playing team ball. Um, you know, Randall, he's cutting down on his threes. He's being selective, of his shots. So that was a great game. He wasn't, he wasn't the leading scorer. You don't always have to lead. It was nice that OG was able to fill in, and he's getting more comfortable. As he learning the offense. So it was just overall it's just like a nice game, and again beating the teams that they should be beating, like, and without exerting a whole lot of energy. So it was just a great game for them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't feel like that game was forced by anybody. Um, I thought Randall also did a good job with lessening up the turnovers because in the Philly game, he turned the ball over. Was it the Philly game or was it I think it was the Philly game, the Sixers
Yeah.
game. Randall has this habit of he posts and then the ball he loses it. No one fouls him. He just loses handle grip of the ball and it slips and it's a turnover.
But I
Or
think I think they did. Was that the one that they challenged and they won? I'm not 100% certain of, but either way, Randall, he's being more selective, and
yeah,
just his turnovers and his shot
exactly.
selection.
Which is like I think that's important because I don't think even same thing with Brunson. You don't need to force your shots. If you're off, you're off. But if you can have that confidence in knowing that guys like McBride, Grimes, DiVincenzo are going to step up, I'll take it. And I think that that's what the Knicks need. I still have concerns with the bench because for me, I haven't seen enough of McBride and Grimes showing a consistency. If we're starting to see it. My thing is that for the long run, and again, I always say sometimes guys are gonna have an off night, but can they continue on throughout? And I'm not just talking about this run, the hot run the Knicks are on now, but can they continue on contributing on the offense and helping out guys like both Randall and Brunson and backing them up and being, adding to the scoring. And that's what I'm looking for. But for you, what do you think is like creating this better offense for the Knicks? Why
Well,
why is it a lot more successful now within these past few games since OG has been here and that you're seeing it's just looking like it's a better flow?
just said it, OG. You know, you just said it, and a lot of people agree. Just the fit. it was the perfect like match for the Knicks. And just what he brings. You know, not that you harping on because the trade is done. Not that you harping on what RJ did do or didn't do, and same thing with Quick, but like it seemed like the ball just stopped. There was like less movement, especially with RJ. So it's just more movement, with on the floor. So I think with that, the key piece, and and just outside, just he can create his own. RJ just seemed, I don't know, that's just my take. And then, if the chat want to chime in and what they see and what they feel, but to me, just like you just that the key was, the addition of OG, and just what he brings you know, and what he's able to do, and just freeing guys, and just guys, he's cutting, you know, he gets his own shot for the most part.
I don't think it's just OG. I think, yeah, because you got rid of two guys who there was a lot of dribbling, and
Mhm.
it made the offense stagnant and there wasn't enough movement. I think it's OG, yeah, because he doesn't necessarily need the ball to be fed to him for him to make his shot. And OG's so good that he plays his role really well, but he's able to come in and fulfill those other pockets that the Knicks may need. Like, I think there was one game where the Knicks shot like three or four threes back to back and no one could hit it. And OG just said, I'm going to just take it in and dunk it. Like, we're playing around and we're exhausting this energy for what? You know what I mean? But I think for me, what I'm noticing on the offense is that removing both RJ and Quickly created a lot of space now
Yeah.
offensively for the Knicks. And I think, like I was telling you before we got on, Kendrick Perkins was on ESPN radio earlier, and he was speaking about how he thinks when Mitch come back, Mitch should come off the bench. He said because Hartenstein creates this spacing. He said, and then he can pass the ball really well, which again, even if Hartenstein's not able to give us the shots like we would like in a three-pointer, but I think with him passing like that, it gives you another option aside from your point guard to create and make those passes, or your wings to make those passes, where now you could have the wings cutting more to the basket. And the Knicks weren't doing that in the beginning of the season or really last year. Guys weren't cutting to the basket. And that part of that too is because of who we had on this team, and also because Hartenstein wasn't getting as much minutes because Mitch was predominantly playing the majority of the minutes for that center role position. But I think that now, if you look at the Knicks offensively, there's a lot more space, and also the ball is moving a lot better. Like, there's not this dribble down and Brunson may pass it to one guy and then they shoot, or maybe it's two passes. There's a couple of passes in a row before the guys are shooting, someone's making attempting a shot. So I
Yeah,
think that because that ball is moving more, guys are moving more without the ball. There's just better movement, and guys just seem to be more aware offensively, also like where I should be, or okay, I see this guy on my team doing this. Let me go move over here. You know what I mean? Let me get out the
yeah.
way. It's just more wary.
Well, that's what Wonder Woman said. Yeah, I see movement and better spacing. Yeah, and that's true though. You do. I mean, just with the addition of Hartenstein starting, he's a great passer, great rebounder. He scores. So you gotta, he's a contributing factor as well. So like you were saying, what he does. So overall, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing offensively from the Knicks. And I like what I'm seeing so far defensively from the Knicks
Oh
because
yeah.
one of their struggles, like one on one, when they would play, you know, guarding man to man, a lot of times the Knicks weren't moving their feet. The offense was blowing right past guys. So you can't tell me the only one that knows how to play defense is Grimes.
Well, interesting fact, since the last 5 games, that the Knicks do have the best defensive rating within the last 5 games. Because they only allowing 106 points, at best. So, that's kudos to them. Seems like they're getting back to that defensive, presence and mind where, Tiz was so, high on. It seems like they're getting there. Um, they just gotta just keep on, honing on that, and holding guys, and just teams overall, So that's kudos to them.
Yeah, and I think it shows because
Yeah,
the problem was Tibbs kept speaking about defense, but when you were watching the games, it wasn't showing. So it was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying in pre and press post game conferences, but the defense wasn't showing. And this is why the Knicks were having a hard time winning games because I would be like, something, there's a disconnect there. Like Tibbs is preaching, and he's known as a defensive coach,
yeah,
coaching teams, and he harps on defense. But I just felt like when I was watching Knicks games, that wasn't showing when you was watching the games live. It just was like, well, where is the defense? And I feel like now guys seems to be aware of like who they're guarding, where they need to be, cutting guys off in the lane. If they know they're a lefty, trying to make them go right and vice versa. So I'm seeing just more of that and just guys just helping out too. Like their hands are active. I'm seeing the last game in Portland, first basket, Dante DiVincenzo
yeah.
steals the ball and gets an easy dunk.
Hmm.
Think that guy's just coming out ready with that energy, and that's what the Knicks have to play. And then against a team like Dallas tonight, you got to come out with that high energy. You got to come out ready to run. And the Knicks have also been doing a good job, like running up the court and getting the ball up the court a lot quicker. I know before, like I used to love the way quickly he could bring up the ball across the court really fast. I hated when he would stand there and dribble and waste time till 2 seconds left on the shot clock. But I think it's not even just that. Sometimes even like Josh Hart or Isaiah Hartenstein do a really good job. They'll catch the rebound and throw a nice football pass down the other end of the court so we can get an easy layup. So I think defensively and offensively, I'm liking that the Knicks are finding out their identity. I think they're still in that testing phase, and they're finding that continuity that all these media, and sportscasters and content creators have been talking about because that's been the big thing that everyone's been speaking about with the Knicks is continuity. But I think that this team is finding their identity. They're starting to gel together and the Knicks can continue to keep going on this run. Like you had alluded to the last episode was that this is a month the Knicks need to capitalize and get as many wins because a lot of these teams are beatable this month. And again, like I said after you said that was you don't have to wait till after the All-Star break to try to find your mojo. You can go on a run and find your mojo now. You don't have to wait till after the All-Star break. Which speaking of All-Star, I don't know what happened with Knicks fans and why didn't anyone really vote for Brunson and Randall. Do you have any clue why?
Yeah, there's no reason why Brunson is 6. The Garden has the capacity is one of the largest. There's a huge, fan base. I don't get it. Now I would love for him to be a starter rather than, a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 25% is fans, 25% is players, and the other, I think like 50% is like with the coaches and like sports, right? You know, um, or it might be 50% with the fans, and 25 and 25, but there's no reason why he's like 6 behind, all these other cats, it's the fans that then they're not voting. We even had somebody on the podcast a few podcasts ago. He said, "Oh, I'm not voting. It's rigged."
Oh
Well,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not. It's the fans. I mean, he's moving up, but he should be at minimum third. Behind maybe Tyrese and you know, maybe even he should be even above Maxi because like you know, Jalen is the star of the Knicks. Maxi's behind MB, so you know why isn't Jalen further have more votes? But that's a fan thing for the most part.
Hmm. Yeah.
And don't forget tomorrow count as three.
Do you think that and this could be me like reading too into it, but do you think that fans, because the New York Knicks have diehard fans, like who've been
Yeah,
fans for years, who go hard, but do you think that is it because people don't care about the All-Star break just because the past few years it's been quite boring, to be honest, like no one's really been entertained? Is it that, or is it the other side of the coin that Knicks fans, and I don't want to say that they don't think that, I mean, I don't want to fully say this is it because I think they are worthy of being voted into. But do you think that Knicks fans feel like because they haven't gotten a championship, the Knicks are just kind of, still taken lightly and not taken seriously? That, the fans, of course, New Yorkers, we want more. We're greedy. We're like, show me a little more, and then maybe next year I'll vote. Like, what do you think it's that has a factor into like why people are voting, either because people were like they're not really interested in the All-Star uh
I think it's a
weekend,
lack
and
of I think it's a lack of interest, and it's sad on the fans' part because even if you're not interested in watching it, there's a lot of other people that are and would like to see him be a starter.
Mhm.
Um, we can, if I could vote 10 times a day, trust, I will vote 10 times a day. But unfortunately, I only can vote once a day, and I do. I got a reminder on my phone, it said that's sad too, but at least I have that reminder on my phone to vote, So I think it's just a lack of just, fans and for whatever reason, maybe there's some people probably feel, oh, even if we do vote and oh, it's like the election, my vote don't count. Well, it do, so it could be again, I always say, it's people mindset and just what they're thinking at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I can't figure out because I was actually quite shocked to not see that Brunson was like, I don't know, that he wasn't like voted, didn't have that many votes. Like I was really shocked by that, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
will say, McBride, ever since he put his hair in braids, he's playing a lot better. Am I lying, chat? Ever since McBride put his hair in them braids and
Yeah.
got rid of that puff, he's been playing a lot better.
Who's that?
Some
Salute
people,
has a gaming. When he put people who vote for Brunson also vote for the popular guys directly competing at the top. Yeah, that's true. Like Halliburton, Spider, Trey. It cancels out their vote for yeah, it does. I mean, I just vote Knicks all across the board.
mhm,
OG, Hartenstein. I just vote all Knicks. I mean, not that they're gonna get in, but then you know, but at least they're not the other guys are not getting my vote. I was like, I just recently started doing well, not recently. I probably like the first week I did vote. I never voted for Spite. I did do Halliburton and JB. Then I of course I did Randall. And I think I did MB. And then I said, you know what? I was like, why am I voting for them? And I started voting just all Knicks across the board. Not that, they're all gonna get in, but at least it lessens the other guys. So yeah, that's true though.
yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. But Knicks fans, guys, go vote. Go vote for Brunson and get him in the Knicks game, All-Star game. In other Knicks news, I did want to tap into the whole Knicks disabled player exception for Mitch Robinson being out with his ankle injury. And I know Woj reported that the NBA is denying the Knicks 7.8 million disabled player exception for Mitch because they believe Mitch can come back and return from his ankle surgery later on this season. You think Mitch is coming back?
Yeah.
But do you
Because
think Mitch is going to be, he's going to come back strong, or is he going to be how Randall was at the start of this season? Like, is he going to be
listen,
ready?
Mitch, I believe he's coming back, and that's one of the reasons why they will probably deny it because they have to get the report from the doctor. They can't just say, "Oh, well, if the doctor deem Mitch will be ready and able to come back, that's probably why they were denied because of the doctor. I'm only just thinking of like in the med. And I'm not in the medical field, but I would just like think, well, why they didn't get it? But they're going on. The league is basing it on reports from the doctor. If they felt Mitch wouldn't be ready, the doctor could always put in a report. Boom. Well, no, he's whatever. He's out for the season. That's one theory. Another theory, why did okay, if the front office and the team felt he wouldn't be ready, why didn't they just advocate and have him just sit out for the whole season? You know what I'm saying, as opposed to like pushing it. Um, and yeah, he'll probably be ready, but he may be on restricted minutes. He's definitely not going to play a full, whatever, and he probably will come as a backup for Hartenstein just to play it safe.
Hmm.
If he's 100%, yeah, I would love for him to come back. Especially during those playoffs. I mean, he did a number. With Cleveland. That first round. So yeah, I would definitely love for Mitch to come back. You kidding me? Um, I mean, Hartenstein's doing a great job, and I would definitely love to see him continue to start.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would thoroughly enjoy Mitch to come back at 100%. Sure.
Yeah, my only concern is Mitch going to be healthy enough and ready? Not that I'm expecting Mitch to play 30 minutes, but it's like, is he going to be ready, or is he going to be kind of like, naturally, if a person comes back from an injury, kind of like how Randall was, you're conditioned ready, but you haven't been in live game situations where you are concerned about tweaking your ankle again. So, I'm just worried if Mitch is going to be ready to hit the floor. And at this point, now he's coming back when we're entering playoff season, and now we're in another playing field. This is where the game ups the ante. You know what I mean? Like, now it's
Yeah.
turn up time. And I agree with you, but I still think that Mitch will be a very vital piece to the playoffs because the Knicks are going to need that backup player, that backup center
Yeah,
to
sure.
Isaiah Hartenstein. God forbid he gets in foul trouble or whatever the case may be. They will need somebody to be that backup to Hartenstein. Just because I would rather see Mitch than to see Sims. And then you still do have Precious. Do you think the Knicks are going to hold on to Precious, or they're going to look to get rid of him?
They might package him off if they come trade deadline. I just throw him in as an incentive. I mean, who knows? Because they still have that one, they still have a spot.
Yeah.
Well, Mitch come back, they're gonna uh but yeah, I like him. I'm not, thrilled about him, I'm not a fan, he's not a part of, I'm not a part of his fan club, but he's okay, you know. I mean, and Jericho, I feel he needs to play more, you know. Then he needs to get those minutes that Precious is getting because again, how is he going to get better? You don't get better sitting on the bench.
But this is we had this conversation before, and I think the problem with that is that I hear you with guys needing to get their reps. You were saying this about McBride, and you were saying this about Grimes too, right?
Mhm.
And granted, we see that switch with them getting more minutes. I just feel like I don't know. A part of me, I can see if Sims is getting more time, right? I could, but my thing is okay. Sims gets more time. What is he gonna do out there for you on the court besides just being able to hustle, grabbing you boards, and on the defensive end? I don't know. I don't really see like is he gonna give you like what Mitchell Robinson gives you?
Course not.
I'm not
No.
saying no, but I'm not saying he's going to be to that degree, like that playing field. But what I'm saying is, what else can he give you that's going to make Tibbs want to say, okay, let me put him in? And I say that also because where the Knicks are now, there's really no room to put guys in like that. Tibbs
Oh
is
yeah,
looking for
yeah.
guys with that experience and who's ready now. And I just think
Mhm.
Sims he needs to be where he's in a rebuilding phase. Like at one point, I was agreeing with you, like Grimes, and I still feel like Grimes for the right deal, Grimes could still get packaged up and go. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I think Grimes should stay. But I mean, it has if it's gonna make sense for the betterment of the team, then listen, I'm all for the Knicks making the moves that they need to make. But I just think going back to Sims, I hear you what you're saying, like he needs to get in the game more, he needs to get more reps, he'll be able to get better. But I just don't see that happening with the Knicks. Like I wonder, is he a good fit for this team, for the Knicks?
Paris Duggar. Yeah, I agree. Sims is a big time rebounder and a pick setter when he gets a flow. I said the same thing. He says nice picks and he's a nice rebounder. That's why, I'm high on him getting more minutes.
Well, Tibbs isn't, because he barely puts the guy in. So yeah.
Well, we know Tibbs is it.
Salute Hansky Gaming. He said, heard of the rumor three-way trade of Spider to the Knicks, Murray to Cavs, players and picks to Hawks. Well, I think it's also dependent on if the Hawks are gonna try to throw it all away of what they have now and rebuild and look to rebuild.
They are looking to rebuild, and they're only looking to keep Trey and the other kid. What's this? Oh man, I heard it
Who
today. Yeah. Oh, man, I
who?
forgot his name. Yeah, they are looking to rebuild. They
Well, I
looking to.
know Murray would be the first to go. Like he would be the first to leave the team if well with them now that you're confirming that that's what they're looking to do. Because I know that was one of the things that was like kind of in question was are the Hawks going to look to just say, okay, we're going to look to rebuild, or were they going to just try to add pieces? But it looks like okay, they are going to look.
They're
So
gonna rebuild.
yeah, I think that I don't know. I know there are multiple teams interested in Murray. It's not just the Knicks. I also know that the Lakers are also interested in him because they're another team that they're struggling. I mean, LeBron even said that they suck. So I don't know. And Spider to the Knicks, I don't know because I know like one of the things I was reading was if you have a player like Spider or you have Murray come to the Knicks, will that work with Jalen Brunson? And I think that's the thing. And Diva Locks and I have spoke about that because she was basically saying, and I know there's people in the chat agreeing with her, Spider's not going to want to come off the bench. Same thing with Murray. And
Yeah.
not to say that you can't move Dante DiVincenzo back to the bench and whoever else you need to go. I understand that, but I I I I wonder if you bring up those type of players to the Knicks, will they work with Jalen Brunson? That's the big question that I keep wondering if that's gonna work out.
Yeah, that's my only issue.
You play Sims over Precious. Precious is 100 pound weekly.
Yep, I'll play Sims. I'm with your pass. I'll play Sims over Precious in a heartbeat.
Um,
I know you're not big on Sims, but
no. Evan Grimes plus picks will work for ATL. They wanted Grimes in that Cam deal too. Yeah, well that's been the I'm hoping that that's what the Knicks do. If they do go after Murray, I think that is for sure Fournier. I don't care what team we go after that better player. Fournier needs to be in the deal. I mean, seriously, this Fournier thing has been dragging on long enough. Like the Knicks have to just find a team who's just going to take Fournier. And the problem is, it's not necessarily Evan Fournier's game; it's his contract. And
well, it's
I blame.
expiring, so hopefully they could dump him. And
Say
that's what
that
they
again.
probably waiting on.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
No, his contract is expiring, so they could be waiting on that. It's less money,
When does
so
it expire?
I think it's this year. I think this
Oh,
year, if chat definitely chime in if you hear otherwise. But yeah, I think they're gonna get rid of him.
no, they have to. This has been long enough. If they go, I'm just using as an example. If they go after Spider, Fournier, and whoever else y'all want to package plus picks. If you go after Murray at ATL, Fournier and Grimes or whoever, you gotta put Fournier in the package. You gotta get rid of that. You gotta let him go, and rightfully so because Tibbs is not even looking to play him. If you notice the trend when players go out and speak and
Yeah,
complain or have they just start venting, the front office and Tibbs don't like that, and now Tibbs is gonna be like, well, you're gonna get less minutes or you're gonna go to the bench. But the good thing is with Grimes, it's a positive because a lot of teams are interested in Grimes.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's
And
young.
Grimes is just going to continue to get better. I see the potential and where he can for sure grow with his game. So, I agree with you, Hansky, on that one. He said, I always thought Nick's interest on Murray is to force Cavs' hand.
Oh, he's Spider. It could be.
Yeah, but well, Spider don't want to be there. They holding on to Spider because they don't really have nobody there. You get rid of him, they're gonna go down the hill, go down the drain. Because that
Yeah.
other guy, he's not that good. What's his name? The other guy that plays
Garland.
Garland. Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
that good. Garland's just okay. Spider and Brunson can be Isaiah and Dumars.
Yeah.
I
Okay. That.
mean, yeah, I could for sure see Spider and Brunson working. I see Murray, but I don't know why. Like I know some people are like, oh, Knicks fans stop talking about Spider, it's not happening. But I definitely could see both of them like going off. And I think that having a player like Donovan Mitchell, he could bring the ball up sometimes
Yeah, and
and
he's
give
safe. He
Brunson a break.
he goes into the paint. He's not afraid to drive. He gets off on dunking on people.
Mhm.
You kidding me? I mean, that would be a nice, plus
Right,
ball
exactly.
dominant. But hey,
Exactly. Salute Parrish. He said Fournier for a guy who has 2 or 3 years left on their contract, clear space for another team. Yeah. Yeah. The Knicks are they gotta cut the ties with the Fournier. It's just not working. It's not. Salute to Dope Soul Sports and Nick Talk.
salute
Salute
Queen,
Queen. Uh oh, we got Eddie in the chat. Salute Eddie. What's going
salute
on?
Eddie.
So the Knicks play tonight, 8:30. Your predictions for tonight's game? Because Luca's the only one that's out, right? He's
No,
the
they got quite a few guys out. They got Exum out. Um, Williams is day to day. Luca's out. It was somebody else they have
is
out. So
Hardaway Jr. playing. He's not injured,
yeah,
right?
yeah, he's playing.
What about Derek Jones Jr.?
Cleve, I think he's out.
And you
Um,
said Grant Williams is
well, he's day to
uh,
day. Yeah, but he may suit up. But even
back.
so, I mean, of course, they still gonna have to play. They can't take nothing for granted. This would be,
Exactly.
a good, night to exploit them for the most part. Just interesting to see the matchup. Is it gonna be Kyrie and OG? I would definitely love to see something like that, but um Luca pucking out, Dallas don't want that want the smoke. That's what Paris said. Um, I mean, just for the most part, I definitely want to see, Randall definitely to, be in attack mode. Again, don't take no a player or team for granted. Just uh, play, guard the perimeter. A Hardaway could hit the three. If Williams play, he tries to chuck it up. Um, and just for the most part, like you gotta watch a turnover, which they are lessening their turnovers for sure. They are, definitely, lessening that, ball movement we definitely gonna need. Um, play with some cohesion and just stay poised. Don't and which the Knicks they have lately. They don't. It's like they play under control. They don't get like flustered and even when a team cuts into that lead, they call that needed timeout so they can regroup. So they don't. They are that's what they are. They're playing so much better. Even before the wins. They would just that they just gotten better. But I'm just just looking for again. This is a winnable game.
Yeah.
Even if Cooper was playing, I mean, they could still beat them.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Well, I'm wondering if Brunson is gonna go off because he's back in Dallas. So
Yeah,
I'm
and he
wondering
didn't
if
play.
yeah, like if he's gonna have a monster game. So I'm definitely gonna be looking out for that. But I don't want to just see just Brunson or Randall trying to carry the team. I want to continue that team play that the Knicks have been doing very well at. It's just continuing to play as a team. I want to continue to see the ball movement amongst guys. You know, I noticed that, like you said, the Knicks have been playing a lot better. They're playing poised, they're under control. I don't see too many wacky passes or plays going on. It
Yeah,
just seems like, guys are just playing and gelling together. So I'm liking that. But I think that the Knicks do have to be careful because even though Luca's out and you have a couple of guys on the injury list for Dallas, I think that between Kyrie, who's just he salsa dances when he has that ball in his hand. And it's very hard sometimes to stop Kyrie because he can create his own and get wherever he wants. And I love a player who can do just that, whether they're using their handle skills, whether they're, doing a quick a spin to the basket. I hope Randall takes some notes when he sees Kyrie do that tonight because that's how you spin nice and quick. He does it like a effortless, like a ballerina. It's like he's on his tippy toes when he does it. Um, but I think the Knicks have to be careful for both Kyrie and then Tim Hardaway Jr. if he just so happens to get hot and starts knocking down the threes. So you got to watch out for him. And then those other no-name guys that none of us know on Dallas who may just start heating up and sneakily start knocking down shots. And you don't want to take nobody lightly on that team. So I think that the Knicks have to for sure lock in on the defense, make sure they're guarding the perimeter. And I want to see the Knicks get into the paint more and score into the paint because I feel like their points in the paint, while they've been decent, they haven't been as high as they were, which is odd because in the beginning of the season, the Knicks were averaging close to like around 60
Yeah,
at
50.
least. Right,
Working. Yeah.
right, in the paint. Whereas now it's been like low 50s, mid late 40s points in the paint. And I'm like, I would like to see guys getting into the paint more, you know what I mean, and scoring more. So I want to see guys attacking the basket, guys moving, cutting to the basket. You know, I don't want to see, I said it like 2 episodes ago. I don't, Hartenstein shouldn't have to be nudging his head, or there shouldn't even be any hesitation. When you see him get the ball, I do want to see Hartenstein turn around more, though. I notice he gets the ball sometimes like a little bit above the free throw line. And instead of just turning around, he will pass it back out to the top of the key to whoever's there, whether it's Brunson, DiVincenzo, so that they could reset. Now, I think that's good in certain instances, but sometimes if he would turn around, I saw the last game, both Randall was open and I don't know if it was OG. I'm like, yo, just turn, because you have options now. You can act like you're going to shoot a floater, you know, dump it down quickly. So if only he just turns around and face the basket, as Clyde always says, that would be, you know, you can make a play from there. But just, and then make the free throws, continue to knock down the free throws, limit the turnovers, and just watch out for guys that we don't know on Dallas and really, you know, get a lead and maintain that lead. I think is what's going to be critical for the Knicks tonight. But I'm definitely looking for the Knicks to make it 6 in a row tonight and to continue on this run. I mean, why not? I think, and it also shows that you can't sleep on the Knicks. So between tonight and then on Saturday's game against Memphis, with them both. Now Memphis gonna have, you know, they were playing good even with Ja not around. I mean, they weren't playing the greatest, but they're still a pretty good team to me. They just, you
Well,
know,
Marcus Smart is out for 6 weeks. You heard his
I see that.
yeah. Hmm. So
So
that's pretty banged up. But again, you can't sleep on anybody.
Eddie said we must put OG on Kyrie, but he not be over aggressive to earn. Yeah, I.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the key too. Like whoever's guarding Kyrie, you can't get in foul trouble. And also Hartenstein, because when Kyrie drives and he may try to go for the block, and now they're calling a silly foul on you. You know, so the Knicks definitely gotta they gotta be careful for that. You don't want to get yourself in foul trouble. Salute Shaw Legacy.
Salute.
We'll
Salute.
win if Brunson gets 7 or more assists. Yeah. Brunson's been doing pretty good with the assists, even considering the Portland game, which wasn't a good game from him. But I think he's been doing a good job filling those other pockets within the game. Um, and you know, sometimes it's okay. Like I think even if Randall doesn't have the best night, but I think if they contribute in other ways, whether that's assists, rebounds, you know, I keep pushing and re-emphasizing that guys got to help out on the boards. You know, you don't got to just leave Hartenstein and Randall down there. But I like what I'm seeing with Josh Hart, DiVincenzo, OG. Guys are coming in to help out and grab the rebound and not watching, instead grabbing the loose ball, which is what the Knicks need to do. So yeah, I think this is a game for me that yeah, I think the Knicks. I was shaky between tonight and Saturday's game because these are both teams that are a little bit, especially Dallas, is a challenge. And this is before I knew Luca was out. But I want to see the Knicks take this. Actually, the next two. I know you had them 3-0 this week. I had them 2-1. So I would like to see them go after this win and take it. But we'll see. I'm looking forward to this game, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's time the team start putting some respect on the Knicks name. Knicks know Kyrie and Hardaway can beat them, especially if Randall is chasing his numbers back in his hometown. Yeah, Randall may have a really good game also. I forget that he's from Dallas.
Yeah, yeah. He was just yep.
He said, I'm worried about the refs putting a hit out on us tonight. Yeah,
Gee.
yeah. Sometimes the refs be hating on the Knicks. They do.
Classic. Ain't nothing wrong with Luca. Why you think he's not hurt? I wish he was playing because when the Knicks do win, they're like, oh well, Luca wasn't there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You
But you know
know,
what? This ain't the last time they'll be playing them. But I think
yeah,
it's okay to set the tone now. Start
yeah,
the series off strong and beat these teams with your first time playing them, just like we did against Philly. I think the one team the Knicks have to really prove that they can beat is
of
Boston.
course. Yep.
For some reason, the Knicks can't beat them, and it's that. And these wins are so important because the Knicks need to be able to establish themselves in the Eastern Conference and be able to actually win these games and move themselves down. I think the Knicks are sitting like in I
Woo.
don't know where they are right now. Oh, we're in fifth. Okay.
Just FYI, I'm watching the Philly and Boston game, Milwaukee and Boston. Milwaukee 73, Boston 38. Get ready to go
Wow.
into the half. They're
Wow.
beatable. I mean, but this is only the half, but it's FYI.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, but yeah, these wins, the Knicks have to be able to pull off. Right now they're in fifth, but with the way the Eastern Conference is set up, it's that fourth seed to the eighth seed. And look, the Magic are sitting in the eighth. So it's up for grabs for anybody. Every though that fourth through the eighth seed, the win losses are like neck and neck. So
Yeah.
these are the games that the Knicks have to take advantage of and win and pull past them. Josh got to stop with the goofy turnovers. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes like his passes, I question him. I'm like, you're not a globetrotter. Why are you throwing it to the 300 section in the garden? Like he the people that work for that the dances and the timeouts. That's he throwing them. I don't know what's that about, but hopefully he has a good game tonight too. Maybe he could bounce back and have a good game. But I want to see the supporting cast stepping up. Grimes, McBride, DiVincenzo, definitely getting OG involved, which he's gonna get involved regardless. And I would like to
Mhm.
see nice games from both Randall and Brunson.
For
But
sure.
yeah. Anything else for you before we get out of here? I know tip off is about to happen.
Yeah, no, you know my mantra. Let's go next.
Yeah,
We got
exactly.
this. This a nice win. Six
Yeah,
and out. We
yeah,
start the new year. Why not?
exactly. Tibbs must manage the time and not exhaust Brunson and Randall. I
Yeah.
think that's it. I think that depends on how the scoring is though in this game, the lead rather, I should say, because I'm sure Tibbs would love to do that, but this is why it's important that the Knicks get a lead and maintain the lead, so then he could sit them down early in the fourth.
Yeah, like he did that Blazers game.
Exactly. Exactly. So if the Knicks can come out, you got to have a strong first half and come out strong in the third quarter and don't allow Dallas to crawl back into the game. So salute Deraz. Welcome if this is your first time here. He said another win on our way to the third seed. Yeah, the Knicks definitely, I mean, like Kendrick said, he said, I think the Knicks are better than the Sixers. He said, the only team I think the Knicks is their issue, their problem is Boston. He said, but right now the Knicks are definitely can anyone on the East is beatable against the Knicks, and I agree 100%. No one's off limits, and that's what the Knicks need to continue to keep doing, beating teams and letting them know that they're nobody to be played with.
Yeah.
Like Randall said, we don't play with our food. So, we'll see. But salute to the chat tonight for everybody joining us. Ebony, salute. Can't wait to be on the next all women's panel with you. Um, Doing good things over there. In the nick of time. I'll be checking you out.
Yeah, I'll be checking Ed out.
Yeah, her show is good. Check Ebony out, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Nick of Time show. She does a really, really good job over there.
Only
Wonderful.
female in the crew.
Yeah, right. Salute Woman, always showing love and support. Salute Kareem Grant, always showing love and support. Hansky Gaming, salute. He's a new subscriber. We appreciate you tuning in and joining us, showing support. Salute Parish Duggar. Parish, you know I look forward to your chats. I actually watch a lot of Parish in the chat when I'm under nothing but Knicks. Because I know Steph be like,
Oh
Parish, that's
yeah.
not what I said. She'd be like, you're not listening to what I said. So, and salute to Queen. She always show love. Steph is normally on. This is her Thursday night panel show, but because the Knicks are playing, I'm assuming that's why she's not on. Because normally she comes on Thursdays with Jarrell and Jeff, but I guess because the Knicks schedule, so I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss it for my replay tomorrow at work.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
got nothing to listen to. I'm gonna have to listen to Sim's show, but Sims was short. But I'm sure he's gonna do a post game. Salute Eddie. Always appreciate you leaving us comments and popping in and showing love on the chat. And salute Daraz. You look new here also. Welcome. Appreciate everybody for joining us today. Go watch the Knicks game. Go vote for Jalen Brunson. And yeah, as
And the rest of
always,
the Knicks.
what'd you say?
And the rest of the Knicks. Um, Randall, Hartenstein, put them all down.
Yeah,
OG,
that's how I've
vote
been
for them
doing it.
all.
Voting. Yeah, I've been putting just all Knicks players. But yeah, go vote for the Knicks players in this year's All Star game. It'd be nice to get those guys in the game. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Hit that like button before you leave. Hit the subscribe button to any new newbies here on a video that we've never seen you guys before. And as always, as we like to say, we out of here. So peace.
Peace.
King Ribby, salute.